Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Tuesday morning. As we all know, Game 6 of the finals take place tonight in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, as the Phoenix Suns will be taking on the Milwaukee Bucks in a very pivotal game. That might just be the series clincher for Milwaukee, but we'll jump into that in just a moment. The first thing I would like to talk about this morning, I don't know if anybody else saw this trending, but I guess somebody had tweeted, man, this is the best finals since 2016. I hope we get a Game 7. This has been a pretty good finals, just going, you know, mano a mano. And of course, Easy Money Sniper, certified account Kevin Durant, had to reply and say 2017 greater than 2016. I don't know if it's a smooth brain under all those BDBs, or if those BDBs is just too tight that it's warping his brain, or I actually think that some people just lie to themselves so much that they start to believe it. Man, y'all ever knew somebody like that? Like, they lie so much that they really believe it. And they done told a story so many times that they actually believe it's true. I knew somebody like that. I mean, I won't go into the details, man, but it's really making me get a kick out of it just thinking about it. And that shows me that there are people out there like that. So Kevin Durant has to constantly, you know, psych yourself up or psych yourself out to think that his championships are on the level with some of the all-time great championships. Now, at the end of the day, a ring is a ring. You know, you won a championship, that's good. That's good. Nobody's taking away from it. You play within the realms of the rules, and you did what you had to do, or what you thought you had to do. But at the end of the day, when you up 3-1 against a team that was considered at the time probably one of the greatest teams of all time, considering they had already had the record for the most wins, but instead you could not get the job done, and it took one LeBron James to actually beat that team. So you couldn't beat the 2016 team on OKC with Russell Westbrook, even though you had them down 3-1, and the rest is history. You go and join that team. Now, to sit up here and say that it was even, come on now. What? Who was the prohibited favorites once you joined Golden State? And I know that speaks to your greatness. I'm not taking it away. What does any smooth brain person or any hater of LeBron James who could be watching this video think would have happened if LeBron James would have joined the Warriors? How many games do you think they would have won? How many championships do you think they would have won? And how about you put KD on those Cavs teams and you tell me what would have happened? Now, Kevin Durant with the Cavs, with Kyrie and Kevin Love, they probably would have made the finals in the East that year. They maybe would have got past Toronto, maybe. But at the end of the day, they would not even came close. They would have been swept by the Golden State Warriors with LeBron, Clay, and Steph, and Draymond. So we all know that Vegas does not make mistakes. And as soon as Kevin Durant joined that team, they were the prohibited favorites, and everybody across the association and everybody across the world who pays attention to basketball knew that that move was going to make the Golden State Warriors instant champions. And you won 2 championships out of 3. And if you would have been healthy and Clay would have been healthy, you would have won 3 out of 3. But it's an old movie. If y'all never saw Rocky IV, and I've brought this up before, but for those of you who hadn't heard it, if y'all go back and watch Rocky IV, you'll see that Rocky had retired and vacated the title. And Union Kane came along and took the title, but he never really beat Rocky to get the title. So when Tommy the Machine Gun came and knocked out Union Kane to get the championship belt, it didn't mean a thing. And the media said, man, you a paper champion. You never beat the real deal. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, for Kevin Durant, for him to have redemption, you know, in my mind and in the minds of many, which is just my opinion, so who cares? So say what you want to say, I don't care. But at the end of the day, Kevin Durant, you could have found redemption in Brooklyn. By going to Brooklyn, I said, okay, now we get to see Kevin Durant, you know, lead a team deep into the playoffs, into the finals, and maybe to a championship. Teaming up with Kyrie Irving, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. You know, nobody would judge you. Nobody would say, hey, you know, you playing with another great player, because as we all know, it takes at least a dynamic duo to win the NBA championship. So no one man, name me one man that won an NBA championship by themselves. And please don't say Michael Jordan. And please don't say LeBron. Please don't say anybody. Shaq. Anybody. Because they always needed at least 2 star players. And you can see that in this year's finals as well. So with that being said, then the Brooklyn Nets go out and get a James Harden. So now, Kevin Durant, you back at square one where you was with Golden State. So if you happen to win a title, if the injury gods don't, you know, have an injury for Kyrie or James like they did this year, or yourself next year, or anything, then, you know, you are the prohibited favorites once again to win a title. But then right two behind you, who is it? A very old LeBron James and a one often riddled with injuries, Anthony Davis. And that speaks to the greatness of LeBron. And you don't see that being a super team. Because yet, Kevin Durant, yet another super team. You have not won a ring without being on the super team. And for you to have the audacity, man, I don't know if y'all ever seen Baby Boy. If y'all ain't never seen Baby Boy, for the young ones who watching it, man, please go watch Baby Boy. Please go watch that movie. But the funniest part is when Snoop is there, when Snoop get out of jail and Tyrese come by the house. And his house, Snoop don't even really live there. And Tyrese came there to pick his son up, and Snoop said, man, you got the audacity to come up in my crib. You understand? So Kevin Durant has the audacity to sit up here and say that that team is the same as evenly matched as Golden State, and that Cavs team was evenly matched. That is a big no-no. That is a big no-no. Kevin Durant, you should know better. And I'll tell you like this. Just look at the records. What was Golden State record? They didn't win the 72 games, but they won well over 60 games, if my memory serves me correct. I'm sorry, I should have looked it up before I even made this video, but just going off memory, I know they won about 65 or 66 games. Cleveland, on the other hand, they won maybe 51, 52, somewhere in there. You know, a 50-win team is pretty good, but you know, a 60-team win is historical. Especially get on 2K and go play any of the teams that ever won 60 games. So at the end of the day, Kevin Durant, for you to say that finals was better than the 2016 finals, for one, that's the ultimate joke. And you're just trying to psych yourself up to make it seem that way, because you know that you have something to prove. That's why you're always on Twitter arguing with fans and everything else. But it was amazing that Cleveland even won one game, and they maybe could have won that 4th game. And then if you even think about it, after Kyrie left and it was just LeBron James with Kevin left, LeBron still almost squeaked out that first game victory. And who knows what would have happened if J.R. Smith didn't make that bonehead play. Because a lot of this, as you can all tell, is all about confidence. And you can see confidence swinging in each one of these series, because a lot of people say when Phoenix won 2-0, this, you know, they're going to sweep them, Suns in 4 and all that. But not the only thing Suns in 4 is Suns in 4 straight losses. Because I don't think they're going to win tonight. And that's a perfect segue into tonight. But I'm not quite ready to talk about that yet, because this Kevin Durant thing is really irking me. So he says that championship series was better than Cleveland beating Golden State. Okay. Like I said, look at the records of the teams. Look at who was the heavy prohibited favorites. And then look at the matchup, and you tell me how that finals was anywhere near better than the previous year finals. And let me ask you this. Since you say it's so evenly matched, okay, Kyrie, Steph, we could say that's a wash. Even though Steph brings a lot more high prowess offense as far as the three ball, even though Kyrie is no slouch on that, and especially has gotten better since that time. But we could say that's a wash if you want to. LeBron and Kevin Durant, we could say that's a wash if you want to. Even matchup. So Steph, Kyrie, that's a wash. LeBron, KD, that's a wash. And then you're going to say, what, Kevin Love and Draymond Green? What has Kevin Love ever done on his own? What has Kevin Love ever accomplished without LeBron James? Oh, he was 20-10. He was 20-10 all those years with the Wolves. Who the hell won 20-10 with the Wolves? Did he ever win anything? Did they ever sniff the playoffs? Did you ever win a series? No, 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 and no. I'll answer all those questions for you. No. So with all that being said, how in the world are you even comparing the same team? And I'm not done yet because I ain't even got to Clay yet. But Draymond, a better defensive player, a better teammate as far as getting others involved. We saw this year, and we know we all made fun of his triple singles. And at the end of the day, Draymond Green is still a Hall of Famer, in my opinion. I think he will go into the Hall of Fame because his contributions to that Golden State Warriors dynasty. Without Draymond Green, those championships wouldn't be there. And for all you smooth brain people who say he's not a Hall of Fame and he's not that great, then why do you also say at the same token, well, if LeBron wouldn't have got Draymond suspended, then if LeBron wouldn't have got Draymond suspended, then they wouldn't have won. Okay, which one is it? Which one is it? So at the end of the day, there was not a better team. So then you talk about Clay. So now, who did Cleveland have for Clay? Come on, let's be serious. Let's be serious. I'm trying to think. My memory's not doing too well this morning. I'm just waking up. Who did they have for Clay? You had Kyrie. Who was the other shooting guard in the backcourt? See? That must have been how terrible they are because I cannot even remember. Must have been J.R. Smith. Must have been J.R. Smith. But anyway, we won't get into all that. But like I said, man, Kevin Durant, get the dope out your brains and the hope into your brains. I mean, the dope out your veins and the hope into your brains. Because you will never get nowhere smoking the pipe. But anyway, I should have left this alone and went to my segue when I was talking about Phoenix. So anyway, back to tonight's game. As I said previously, these road players don't take their game on the road. So if you think either of the Cams are going to show up for Phoenix tonight, it's not highly likely. It's going to be a high-pressure moment. Who knows? Maybe Chris Paul can rally the troops. Maybe Devin Booker can go out and have a monster game, channel his inner Mamba, and get 50 points. I would like to see them push it out and for it to be a 7-game series so we can have some more basketball to watch. But at the end of the day, like I said previously, I've seen teams win 2 games and then lose the next 4. Once another team figures you out, then it's going to be tough for you to come back and win. Because what Milwaukee has done is figured out what Phoenix was trying to do. Especially their defensive schemes have been so good as far as how they were defending the pick and roll and the pick and pop, and how they using Bobby Portis to help spread the floor on the defensive side to rotate the 3-pointers and not using that Brook Lopez. But also how they use Brook Lopez when needed, when Aiden is in the game, so he can continue to get easy inside buckets when he needs to and stay on the glass and just have a big body to go against Aiden. So at the end of the day, you know, what needs to really be talked about is Chris Paul's legacy. You know, a lot of people just throw him easily in the top 5. I say not so fast. Chris Paul, while he is a great player, you know, I'll put him definitely in the top 10. A lot of people want to say he's automatically over John Stockton. I just don't see that. I mean, I don't see that. I know he's been named to a lot of, first team All-D, a couple more than Stockton. I know Stockton had a 19-year playing career, but Chris has been here 16 years. He has 3 more years. Stockton is #1. See, that's just the thing. Stockton doesn't get his props. You understand what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people want to diminish Stockton just so they can say LeBron is a better player than Jordan, and Jordan didn't have any competition. I'm not one of those people, but I will say Jordan's final competition wasn't as hard as LeBron's final competition, and he had better teammates, especially on that second run. But I will also say this, like the Portlands, the Seattles, not so great. But those Utah teams were the best 2 teams that Jordan faced in the finals. And those teams, now I will say that Phoenix Suns team was pretty good if you look at Charles Barkley, but 1 Hall of Famer. Kevin Johnson, not in the Hall of Fame. So, Karl Malone, John Stockton, 2 Hall of Famers. So, it was still 2 against 3 Hall of Famers, and 4 if you now count Kukoc if he made it into the Hall of Fame. But at the end of the day, men lie, women lie, and numbers don't lie. And we all know that John Stockton leads the entire NBA all-time in assists, and nobody won't even come close to him. Chris Paul, you had 3 more years to catch him, but you won't even come close to him. And then not only that, John Stockton leads the whole entire league history in steals. So if you're a point guard, those are the main 2 categories you want to lead in. Assists, because you're getting your teammates involved, and steals, because that means you're doing it on the defensive end. Point guard's really not going to have a lot of blocks. So a testament of how good they play in defense is steals, and how they get into the passing lanes, and how they pick the pockets of other people. So if you #1 all time in 2 main categories, then it's tough to put Chris Paul over that. I mean, to me, it's tough. I mean, John Stockton, they don't want to give him his props, but I will give John Stockton his props. And not only that, now, on the same token, everything is about context, and like Isaiah Thomas, I put Isaiah Thomas over John Stockton, and I'll go into that on another show. I put him over John Stockton, even though he doesn't have the assist totals nor the point totals of John Stockton. But of course, Isaiah only played 13 years, whereas John played 16 years. So just keep that in mind. Also, Isaiah led his team to back-to-back championships and could have been a 3-peat if not for the phantom foul against the Lakers. Sorry, Laker Nation, but, facts is facts. So that could have easily been a 3-peat. So that was a pretty long run that Isaiah Thomas had leading the team. Of course, he did have a great Joe Dumars in the backcourt. But, if you'd have put Isaiah Thomas on that Utah team with Karl Malone, you talking about some championships, man. Jordan wouldn't even sniff the championship if that was the case. But anyway, back to tonight's game. I just feel like the series is over. I could be wrong. This is a game I'm going to stay away from on betting, because in my head I say Utah is easy. Damn it, Utah. I'm thinking about John Stockton. In my head, I think the Bucks gonna go out and take care of it. But in my heart, I think Phoenix and Chris Paul and Devin Booker is not gonna go out like Willie Lump Lump. But at the end of the day, I think the Bucks are top to bottom the better team when their big 3 show up. So as long as Middleton, Drew Holiday shows up, and Drew Holiday been the X factor, he been getting it done on the defensive end. If he can get it done on the offensive end as well, and he can just give you, mark my words, if Drew Holiday go for at least 20 points tonight, the Bucks win. So take that from me. And as always, this been your boy, B New. I'm saying right on to the real, and much love to the haters. I'm out.